Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah wa kafa. Wa salatu wa salamu ala ibadihi alladhina istafa. Amma ba'du. Farabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri. Wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Wa qul rabbi adkhilni mudkhala sidqin wa akhrijni mukhraja sidqin waj'al li min ladunka sultanan nasira. Bismillah wa billah wa tawakkaltu ala Allah. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Verse number 97 of chapter Al-Baqarah, second chapter of the Holy Book of Quran. Allah is saying in this chapter, in this verse, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Qul man kana aduwwan li Jibrila fa innahu nazzalahu ala qalbik بإذن الله مصدقا لما بين يديه وهدى وبشرى للمؤمنين. As the Quran is not a book of story or some tale, are not put here to be related and to be narrated, and people may read them and enjoy them and may take a lesson or two. Not that. Allah is telling all the things with a purpose, and very briefly all those things are included in very brief way. Here in this verse, and as it was in the verses before, Allah is telling only a part of that, a part of the story. A phase of it is told here, and the next is put on the mind and on the reasoning and on the tadabbur of the reader to find that and understand it by himself. And that is the help that Allah made for tadabbur in Quran. And this is the way that you can understand the Quran. Not everything is explained, and very detailed explanations are given here. Not that. Allah says the message that He wants to convey, what can convey His message and what He wants to make an approach to man with that message. That is the only thing that is put here. Like this is an example for that, this verse that we are going to explain it today, 97. Here Allah is saying to His messenger that give me this message to Israelite and all the people, not only Israelite, but because the continuation of the talk is directed to them, so they are the first one that are pointed with this saying of Allah. Allah is saying to His Prophet that tell them, Man kana aduwwan li Jibrila, the one who have enmity towards Gabriel. This statement is showing that there were some events, there were some talks, there were some discussion in which people were expressing their enmity against Gabriel. They were showing an enmity and fought towards Gabriel and other angels. So Allah is not telling their side of the story. Allah is saying His side of the story, because the other side should be understood by people themselves, and there is no need. This is not a book of tale and stories that everything is said and explained and elaborated very long and then have a long story and this kind of. This is a book of Allah, and all those verses are set with a stronger and strongest order and strongest setting. As Allah has said that Kitabun uhkimat ayatuhu summa fussilat min ladun hakimin khabir. That is the book which has a very strong sting in between the words of Allah, the verses of Allah. So Allah is saying, tell, O Prophet, to them, Man kana udubban li Jibreel, if somebody is enemy, if somebody has grudge against Gabriel, Jibreel. So Allah is stopping here. He stops here for a while. It means that He wants to say, this is, first of all, it is a nonsense thing, and then it is not liked by Allah. He stops. He doesn't say, he does not continue, he does not complete even this statement and the sentence. Sentence is halfly stopped here. Because in here, man kana, man is there, and that is a sharp, that is a conditional man, and it should have some response in sentence, but Allah is not giving that response in continuation, but just explain the situation. He stops here. So it means that Allah is not content. Allah is so much disliking this kind of talks and this kind of expressing enmity towards Gabriel. Allah is saying, فَإِنَّهُ, so they should know. They should come to this awareness. That is indeed a reality. What is that? فَإِنَّهُ نَزَّلَهُ عَلَى قَلْبِكَ. They should know that this Gabriel is the one that has brought this book of Allah onto your heart. It means that Gabriel is the one who has approached to the hearts of prophets. He's not someone, a common one, someone who is not, has a position. He is not of that kind. He is a big position. He is the one who have approached to the hearts of prophets, and he is the one who brings book from Allah to his prophet, and this connection is made by him, and that is a big position that Allah trusts him as this high, that he keep him as a connector from him to the prophet, and all those messages that they were conveyed to all prophets, they came by, they brought by Gabriel, and this is a big position, and this is the one who is a part of that connection. So that is a big position, and how somebody can talk about him in negative, that is not bearable for Allah, and Allah is not accepting this kind of talk and this kind of enmity and this expression of anger, whatever the reason be. And actually the reason behind all this enmity that Israel showed against Gabriel was that they were thinking that all those calamities and all those punishments and all those responses that Allah gave to their action and their wrong deed and wrongful activities, all those were made by Gabriel, and Gabriel is the one who set all those punishments and chastisement upon them. And also they believe that wrongly he has given the book to the lineage of Ishmael, while they were from the lineage of Isaac and Ishaq, and so Gabriel was to bring that message of Allah towards them and not towards this prophet, last prophet. And he went there wrongly, and he, as they said, distrust them. So Allah is giving his stance and his narrative. Allah is just giving his narrative, and let their narrative be neglected and ignored, and Allah is not paying that what they say and what is the reason behind their enmity and all those things. All of that is neglected and ignored, and Allah is saying his own message and saying فَإِنَّهُ, so they should know, نَزَّلَهُ, that he has brought down that message of Allah to you. نَزَلُ عَلَىٰ قَلْبِكَ, he brought that message of Allah, conveyed it to your heart. بِإِذْنِ, and who gave that authority to him, that he should have access to the heart of the Holy Prophet, and who have given this access to him to be a communicator and be somebody who is part of that communication that is done in between Allah and his Prophet. So that is all done by the permission of Allah, and Allah has given that authority to him. So he is authorized one, and he does as Allah likes. So none should open his tongue against him. None should say something against him. None should have any enmity against Gabriel or any other angel, as it is told in the next verse, that inshallah we will do it. Bi'iznillah musaddiqan lima bayna yadayhi. And whatever he has brought from Allah to the Prophet is something that is confirming what is done before him and what is given before him. It means that this Gabriel is not wrong at all. He is not doing things by his own will. All is done by permission of Allah, and he is doing the thing according to what Allah has set. And the proof of that is that what he has given and conveyed to this prophet is confirming what he had brought to the prophet Moses. So this is not something that cannot help. It is helpful here, and it can help them to understand that this is a proof that Gabriel is not doing the thing by his own will. He is doing all that thing by iznillah, and with the permission of Allah. وَهُدًى وَبُشْرَى لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ. And other than that it is confirming what they have before. This is hidayat. It is a guidance. And if it was like that Gabriel was making his own will and he was doing the thing according to his own desire, then it should not match what they had before, and it should not be a guidance. And wabushra lil mu'min, and he did not have, or he does not have any authority to give the news of what will happen in the future and what will be the consequence of their conduct, and he does not have any authority. So if he is giving all those news of the hereafter and all those information of the hereafter and knowledge about that hereafter and what will happen hereafter, as positive and or negative, any of them, Bushra can give both of the meaning, Bushra lil mu'minin, and that is a good tidings for the believers. And all that is done by Jibreel, but not by his own will or by his own desire. He is only a communicator, or he is a connector, and he is only a conveyor of the message of Allah. So Allah cleans and clears his position, Jibreel, and also wants people not to keep any kind of grudge or enmity against him, and Allah dislikes this kind of manner or conduct from anybody. And the same talk is going to continue in the next verse, but we will do it inshallah in the next session. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah bless you all.